A woman's body and mind betray her attraction before she even says a word. She might try to hide it, but the truth always leaks out. The Stoics, masters of human nature, understood this well. People reveal themselves through actions more than words. Seneca once said, "Speech is the mirror of the soul. As a man speaks, so is he." But when it comes to attraction, it's not speech, it's body language. If you know what to look for, you'll never again question whether a woman likes you. You'll see it, feel it, sense it. Because when she's drawn to you, her body reacts in ways she can't control. Watch until the end, and you'll understand these signs better than most. And if you've ever noticed these behaviors in a woman before, comment below and share your story. Now, let's break down these 7 uncontrollable signs. Chapter 1. Prolonged eye contact. The eyes reveal everything. No matter how much someone tries to hide their feelings, their gaze tells the truth. If a woman is into you, she won't be able to resist looking at you again and again. She might try to play it cool, pretending to be indifferent, but her eyes will betray her true emotions. The longer she holds eye contact, the clearer the signal. She may glance away briefly, but if she looks back at you quickly, it's a definite sign. Prolonged eye contact is one of the most powerful nonverbal cues of attraction. It's not just a coincidence or a random habit, it's deeply rooted in human psychology. Scientific studies show that deep eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This chemical reaction creates a sense of connection, making prolonged eye contact feel almost hypnotic. That's why, when 2 people lock eyes for an extended period, there's often a sudden, inexplicable tension, a magnetic pull that neither can ignore. It's the unspoken language of desire, a signal stronger than words. Think about it. When you're in a crowded room, you might glance at dozens of people, but you don't keep staring at someone unless there's something special about them. A woman who repeatedly looks at you, especially if she holds eye contact for more than a second or 2, is giving you a clear, unspoken message. If her pupils dilate when she looks at you, if she quickly glances away when you catch her staring, or if she sneaks another look right after, it's not random. It's attraction. The key is to recognize the difference between polite, casual glances and the kind of lingering eye contact that signals interest. In social psychology, prolonged eye contact is known to create a deep sense of intimacy, even between strangers. In fact, some experiments have shown that 2 people who maintain uninterrupted eye contact for just 4 minutes report feeling a stronger connection than couples who have been together for years. It's that powerful. The reason? Eye contact forces us to be vulnerable. It's an unfiltered, raw exchange of energy, one that speaks louder than any words ever could. It bypasses small talk, cutting straight to the subconscious, where attraction is formed. But here's where most men go wrong. They overthink it. They see a woman making eye contact and start second-guessing everything. Is she just being polite? Did she look at me by accident? Am I imagining this? This hesitation kills confidence. No. If she keeps looking, she's interested. Plain and simple. Women are naturally more selective than men when it comes to sending signals, so when they do, it's intentional. The Stoics believed in observing reality as it is, without illusions. They didn't waste time on unnecessary doubts. If a woman continuously makes eye contact, don't ignore it, don't hesitate, and don't convince yourself it's nothing. It's something. And what should you do in response? Hold her gaze. Match her intensity. Show confidence without arrogance. A man who can sustain eye contact without looking away too soon communicates strength, presence, and self-assuredness. Women notice that. If you break eye contact too quickly, you risk coming across as insecure or disinterested. But if you hold it just long enough, without staring in a creepy way, you build anticipation, attraction, and curiosity. It's a balancing act, confidence without intimidation, interest without desperation. A simple exercise: next time you're speaking to someone, practice holding their gaze just a little longer than you normally would. Not in an exaggerated way, but just enough to be comfortable with the tension. You'll notice how different people react. Some will look away quickly, but those who don't, they're drawn to you. Women, in particular, will feel this dynamic shift, even if they can't explain it. In the game of attraction, prolonged eye contact is one of the first and strongest signals a woman will send. If you know how to recognize it and respond appropriately, you'll immediately separate yourself from the majority of men who either miss the signal entirely or doubt themselves into inaction. Pay attention. Read her eyes. And when the moment comes, embrace it with confidence. Chapter 2: Physical Touch. A woman who likes you will always find reasons, any reason, to touch you. It might seem accidental, casual, or playful, but make no mistake, it's intentional. She might brush against your arm as she walks by, lightly rest her hand on your shoulder during a conversation, or playfully push you when laughing at a joke. These seemingly minor touches aren't meaningless. They are calculated signals of attraction. Physical touch is one of the most powerful human bonding mechanisms. It bypasses logic and speaks directly to the subconscious mind, creating an invisible thread of connection between two people. Science backs this up. When we touch or are touched by someone we're attracted to, our brain releases oxytocin, the so-called bonding hormone. This chemical is responsible for deepening emotional connections and making us feel closer to the person initiating the contact. If she is comfortable touching you, or better yet, she's the one initiating it, it means she is signaling her openness to intimacy. The Stoics, known for their mastery of self-control, understood that true power lies in perception, not in pursuit. They taught that attraction isn't about chasing, it's about recognizing what's already present. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Many men overthink attraction, believing they need grand gestures or complex strategies to win a woman's interest. But the reality? The signs are already there if you pay attention. If a woman touches you, she's making a move, even if it seems small. Think about how people behave around those they don't like. They maintain distance. They pull away from unnecessary contact. Their body language is closed off. Now, contrast that with a woman who constantly finds little ways to bridge the gap between you and her. Does she rest her hand on your knee during a conversation? Does she let your fingers linger together when handing you something? Does she lean in close, erasing the personal space most people keep? If the answer is yes, she's drawn to you on a deeper level. But there's more. Pay attention to how long the contact lasts. A fleeting touch could be accidental, but if she lets it linger even for a second longer than necessary, that's deliberate. She's testing the waters, gauging your reaction, seeing if you respond. And here's where most men go wrong: they don't respond. They don't reciprocate. They assume it's meaningless. Big mistake. The Stoics believed in observing the world as it is, rather than how we want it to be. If a woman allows, initiates, or prolongs physical touch, it's not happening randomly. It's an invitation. The key is how you respond. If you pull away or ignore it, she may assume you're not interested, and she'll stop. If you respond naturally, by touching her back in a subtle, confident way, you strengthen the connection. Consider this: have you ever noticed how physical touch naturally increases as emotional connection deepens? In a crowded room, she could sit anywhere, but she chooses the seat right next to you. During a conversation, she lightly touches your hand to emphasize a point. When she laughs, she playfully nudges you. These are all ways of bridging the physical gap, and they are deeply instinctual. There's a reason human touch is one of the strongest forms of communication. Before words were even developed, touch was how people expressed emotion, trust, and connection. It's why a comforting hand on the shoulder can calm someone down, why a warm hug can change someone's mood instantly, and why lovers use touch to communicate things that words cannot. Touch creates intimacy in a way nothing else can. So, if a woman keeps finding reasons to touch you, don't overlook it. Don't second-guess it. She's already making the first move. She just wants to see if you notice. Chapter 3. Blushing and looking flustered. Some reactions can't be controlled. Blushing is one of them. When a woman is truly attracted to you, her body betrays her emotions in ways she can't suppress. One of the biggest giveaways? The sudden rush of color in her cheeks, neck, or even ears. This isn't just a random occurrence, it's a biological response triggered by adrenaline. When she feels excited, nervous, or stimulated in your presence, her blood vessels expand, causing a natural flush to appear on her skin. This involuntary reaction is one of the most honest signs of attraction because it can't be faked. While someone might force a smile or laugh at a joke they don't find funny, blushing happens on a completely subconscious level. It's her body revealing what she might be trying to hide. Even the most composed, confident women can't stop themselves from blushing when they feel something deep inside. But blushing isn't the only sign of flustered attraction. Pay attention to how she acts when she's around you. Does she suddenly stumble over her words when she's normally well-spoken? Does she lose her train of thought mid-sentence? Maybe she fidgets with her hands, adjusts her clothes, or even lets out a nervous giggle when there's nothing particularly funny happening. These are all signs that her body is struggling to maintain composure around you. The Stoics, masters of human nature and self-awareness, believed that true understanding comes from observation. They taught that words could be deceptive, but actions, and even unconscious reactions, never lie. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Look beneath the surface, let not the several quality of a thing nor its worth escape thee." In other words, don't just listen to what someone says, watch what they do. Or in this case, watch how her body reacts in your presence. Imagine this scenario. You are having a casual conversation with a woman, and for no obvious reason, her cheeks flush a soft shade of pink. She quickly looks away, bites her lip, or fidgets with her jewelry. Maybe she takes a deep breath as if trying to steady herself. This isn't just a random occurrence, it's her body betraying her attraction to you. She might try to downplay it, but the truth is, her emotions are slipping through the cracks. And here's the key: the stronger her feelings, the more pronounced these reactions will be. If she has mild interest, you might notice just a slight warmth in her face. But if she's deeply attracted, her entire demeanor might change. Her voice may get softer or slightly higher pitched. She may start blinking more than usual, a known sign of excitement and nervous energy. And if she's truly flustered, she might even break eye contact abruptly as if she needs to reset her composure. There's also a fascinating psychological aspect to blushing that makes it even more significant. Blushing is an incredibly human reaction, and it triggers an emotional response in the person witnessing it. Studies show that when we see someone blush, we instinctively feel more connected to them. Why? Because blushing is a sign of vulnerability, and vulnerability builds trust and intimacy. If a woman blushes in front of you, she's unknowingly inviting you into her emotions, creating a deeper, more authentic bond. But here's where a lot of men go wrong: they ignore the signs or dismiss them as coincidence. They see a woman blushing but assume it's just the temperature in the room. They notice her fidgeting but chalk it up to habit. They hear her nervous laughter and think nothing of it. Big mistake. A woman's body language often reveals more than her words ever will. If she's blushing and flustered around you, she's not just being polite, she's reacting to you on a deep, emotional level. So how do you respond when you notice these signs? Simple. Don't call it out. If you say something like, "You're blushing," she'll immediately get more self-conscious and try to suppress it. Instead, let it work in your favor. Keep the conversation flowing, maintain eye contact, and subtly test her reactions. If she keeps blushing when you tease her or joke around, you've got undeniable proof that she's feeling something strong. The bottom line? Blushing and looking flustered are some of the most powerful, involuntary signs of attraction. When a woman's body responds to your presence in ways she can't control, that's not just chemistry, that's nature itself showing you the truth. And if you pay attention to these signs, you'll see attraction in a way most men completely overlook. Chapter 4. Mirroring your actions. Without realizing it, people imitate those they feel connected to. It's called subconscious mirroring, and it's one of the strongest non-verbal signs of attraction. If you shift your weight from one leg to the other, she does the same. If you take a sip of your drink, she follows. If you lean forward slightly during a conversation, she unconsciously mirrors your movement. This isn't a coincidence, it's human psychology at work. Mirroring is an instinctive way to build rapport and deepen a bond. It's a signal that she's comfortable around you, engaged in your presence, and, most importantly, emotionally in sync with you. This behavior is deeply rooted in evolutionary biology. From an early age, humans learn to mimic body language as a way of fitting in, gaining acceptance, and establishing trust. When a woman mirrors you, her subconscious is signaling alignment, her body is physically demonstrating what her mind is feeling. But let's take it even further. Studies in psychology show that mirroring is a key part of attraction and persuasion. When two people are genuinely connected, their breathing patterns, heart rates, and even speech rhythms begin to sync. This isn't just anecdotal, it's scientifically proven. If a woman likes you, her body will instinctively adjust to match yours, even without her realizing it. The stronger the connection, the more profound this effect becomes. It's why couples who have been together for years often seem to move and speak in harmony. Their subconscious minds have trained their bodies to sync naturally. Interestingly, mirroring also extends beyond body language. It can manifest in tone of voice, facial expressions, and even energy levels. If you're speaking in a slow, relaxed manner, and she starts doing the same, it's a subtle but strong sign of attraction. Likewise, if you express excitement about something and she mirrors your enthusiasm, it indicates that she's not just listening, she's engaged at a deeper level. The Stoics, though they weren't neuroscientists, understood this principle in a different way. They believed that actions reveal more about a person's true feelings than words ever could. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. D1. The same applies to attraction. Don't waste time wondering if she likes you. Watch what she does. If she mirrors you, even in small, subtle ways, she's revealing something real. Now, the key here is that mirroring is not forced. She's not doing it on purpose to manipulate or impress you. It happens naturally when there's a strong connection. This is why it's one of the most reliable signs of attraction. It's uncontrollable. Unlike a fake smile or forced laughter, mirroring isn't something she consciously decides to do. It just happens. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Mirroring doesn't just signal attraction, it creates attraction. Research in social psychology has shown that when someone mirrors another person, the other person begins to feel more drawn to them, even if they weren't initially interested. Why? Because mirroring builds familiarity, and familiarity breeds comfort and trust. This means that if you notice a woman mirroring your body language, it's not just that she already likes you, it's that the mirroring itself is deepening her attraction to you even further. But how do you test this in real life? Simple. Subtly change your body language and see if she follows. Cross your arms casually and wait. If, within a few moments, she does the same, that's mirroring. Lean forward slightly and notice if she instinctively leans in too. If she does, her body is syncing with yours without her even realizing it. This is one of the clearest, most undeniable signs of attraction, and it works in any setting, whether you're at a cafe, sitting across from each other at dinner, or standing in a group conversation. Another key aspect of mirroring is verbal mimicry. If she starts using similar words, phrases, or even speech patterns as you, that's another subconscious way of aligning with you. Does she repeat certain words you use? Does she match your energy level or the way you structure your sentences? If so, she's not just engaged, she's deeply tuned into you. And don't forget the emotional mirroring effect. If she reacts to your emotions in a way that mirrors your own, that's a sign of deep connection. If you're excited about something and she gets excited too, or if you lower your voice and she instinctively does the same, she's unconsciously syncing with you. This emotional mirroring is one of the most powerful ways humans bond, and it's a clear signal that she's feeling a connection with you. Even more fascinating is the idea that mirroring isn't just about one-on-one interactions. It happens in social groups as well. If you're in a group setting and she subtly aligns her body language with yours, even when she's talking to someone else, that's an even stronger sign. It means her subconscious mind is prioritizing you over everyone else in the room. But here's where the Stoic mindset comes in: don't overanalyze it. If she's mirroring you, great. That's a strong sign she's interested. But don't become obsessed with trying to read every little movement. Instead, focus on being present, being confident, and leading the interaction naturally. If she's interested, her body will tell you everything you need to know. The bottom line? Mirroring is one of the strongest subconscious signals of attraction. If a woman mirrors your body language, speech, or emotions, it's not a random coincidence. It's her subconscious way of showing alignment, comfort, and attraction. Pay attention. Because in the world of attraction, actions always speak louder than words. Chapter 5. Laughing at your jokes, even the bad ones. Laughter is one of the most powerful social connectors in human psychology. It's not just about humor, it's about connection, comfort, and chemistry. And when a woman finds herself laughing at your jokes, even the ones that aren't objectively funny, it's not because she has a weak sense of humor. It's because she's drawn to you. Think about this. How often do you see a woman laugh heartily at a stranger's joke? Rarely, if ever. People don't waste their laughter on those they have no emotional investment in. But when a woman likes you, her laughter becomes generous, even effortless. It's not forced, it's instinctive. Because she's not laughing at the joke itself, she's laughing at the moment. At the interaction. At the shared energy between you. This is a primal and deeply ingrained response. In social psychology, laughter is considered a form of social bonding, a way to show approval and attraction without saying it outright. When she laughs at your jokes, especially the terrible ones, she's not just being polite, she's signaling that she enjoys your company, that she feels at ease with you, and that she wants the conversation to keep flowing. And here's where it gets interesting: laughter is contagious. The more she laughs around you, the more you will feel at ease, the more confident you'll become, and the stronger the connection between you will grow. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. She laughs because she's comfortable, her laughter makes you relax, and your relaxed presence makes her laugh even more. This builds an emotional bridge between you, one that doesn't require deep words or dramatic confessions, just the simple joy of shared amusement. Now, let's bring in the Stoic perspective. The Stoics weren't comedians, but they did understand the power of the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Dwell on the beauty of life." Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. In other words, life's simplest pleasures, like laughter, are often the most valuable. If a woman chooses to share those moments with you, she's not just being nice. She's making a decision, consciously or not, to invest her energy in you. This is why laughter is such a revealing sign of attraction. It's voluntary, but unconscious. A woman might force a polite chuckle at a coworker's joke to be socially appropriate, but if she's genuinely laughing, eyes crinkling, body leaning in, maybe even struggling to catch her breath, she's truly engaged. She's not filtering her reaction. She's letting go, allowing herself to be in the moment with you. And that's rare. Even more telling, if her laughter is paired with other strong indicators of attraction. Is she maintaining prolonged eye contact? Is she touching your arm while laughing? Is she playfully hitting you or covering her mouth as she giggles? If so, these are compounded signs that she's into you. But let's take it a step further. Some women will even use laughter as a test. If she throws out a joke, especially a playful or teasing one, and watches how you react, she's gauging your ability to keep up with her humor, your ability to engage in the dance of conversation. If you respond well, if you play along, she'll laugh even more, not just because the joke was funny, but because you passed her unspoken test. And here's where many men go wrong. They ignore or downplay the power of laughter. They think, oh, she just laughs at everything, or she's just being friendly. But this is a mistake. Women don't invest their time and energy into laughing with someone they don't find enjoyable. If she's laughing at your worst jokes, she's giving you an opening. She's giving you permission to keep talking, to keep engaging, to keep leading the interaction forward. The power of laughter in attraction goes beyond the moment. Studies in behavioral psychology show that people associate emotions with those who make them feel that way. If a woman frequently laughs in your presence, her brain starts associating you with joy, positivity, and warmth. That means she won't just remember the joke, you'll become the embodiment of those good feelings. Over time, this emotional association deepens attraction and makes your presence something she seeks out, even without realizing why. Another key sign of attraction? If she actively tries to make you laugh, too. If she teases you, playfully mocks something you said, or even tells a silly joke herself, she's not just having fun, she's testing for reciprocity. She wants to know if you'll join in, if you'll share the laughter, if you'll meet her in that space of playful connection. If you do, it strengthens the chemistry between you, solidifying the bond with each shared moment of amusement. But let's add one more layer to this, the subtle art of inside jokes. If a woman creates or engages in inside jokes with you, that's a major sign of connection. Inside jokes are exclusive, they're personal, unique to the two of you, and a reflection of shared experiences. They signal not only attraction but also a sense of belonging. If she references something from an earlier conversation, playfully calls back to a past joke, or laughs about something that only the two of you understand, she's marking you as someone special. So the next time a woman is laughing at everything you say, even the jokes you know aren't that funny, don't dismiss it. Pay attention to what's happening beneath the surface. Because her laughter isn't just noise. It's an invitation. And in the subtle, intricate world of attraction, laughter is one of the most powerful tools at play. Chapter 6, Playing with Her Hair. Some behaviors are so deeply ingrained in human nature that they happen without thought, without planning, without control. One of the strongest and most revealing of these is a woman playing with her hair when she's around a man she finds attractive. It's a subconscious action, an instinctive response that speaks volumes even when she says nothing at all. Think about it. A woman's hair is one of the most noticeable aspects of her appearance. It frames her face, moves with her expressions, and, whether long, short, straight, or curly, naturally draws attention. And when she's interested in someone, her body instinctively tries to emphasize her best features. Playing with her hair is not just idle fidgeting, it's a biological cue, a silent but powerful signal of attraction. It's subtle but incredibly revealing. She may casually tuck a strand behind her ear, smoothing it out of her face as she talks to you. She may twist it around her fingers while listening to you speak. She may even run her hands through her hair, lifting it off her shoulders, drawing attention to her neck, one of the most vulnerable and delicate parts of the body. All of these actions stem from the same place, the mix of nervous excitement and unconscious flirting. Women don't typically play with their hair when they're bored or indifferent. In fact, if a woman is uninterested, her body language becomes more closed off. She might cross her arms, look away, or avoid unnecessary movement. But if she's twirling her hair, shifting it over one shoulder, or repeatedly adjusting it when you're around, it's a completely different story. It's attraction in action. The reason this signal is so telling is that it's often involuntary. The Stoics emphasized the importance of observing nature and human behavior without illusion. They understood that true intentions are revealed not through words, which can be controlled, but through actions, especially the ones people don't even realize they're doing. Marcus Aurelius said, "Pay attention to what a man does, not what he says." The same applies here. If a woman is playing with her hair in your presence, she's not consciously deciding to flirt, it's happening automatically. That's what makes it real. Beyond simple attraction, hair playing is also a sign of nervous excitement. When a woman likes someone, her body releases adrenaline, which creates a surge of energy. This energy needs an outlet, and for many women, that outlet is their hair. They fidget with it, stroke it, or even tug on it lightly because their body is reacting to the tension of wanting to impress you. But there's more. Playing with her hair can also serve as an invitation. If she repeatedly draws attention to her hair while maintaining eye contact, she's subtly encouraging you to notice her more, to engage, to step closer. It's an unconscious way of signaling that she wants your attention and, possibly, your touch. Some women even take it further, playfully flipping their hair over their shoulder, exposing their neck and collarbone in a way that is both confident and inviting. To test whether this sign is truly meant for you, observe her behavior when she's around others. If she's only playing with her hair when she's talking to you, it's a clear indication that you're the one making her feel this way. It's a reaction she isn't having with anyone else, only you. The Stoics believed in the power of clarity, of seeing things as they truly are, without overcomplication. If a woman continuously touches her hair in your presence, don't dismiss it as meaningless. Don't overanalyze it. Recognize it for what it is, as an unconscious display of interest. An invitation. A sign that her body is responding to you in a way that words alone could never fully express. And the next time you see a woman playing with her hair while talking to you, pay attention. Because in that moment, she might be revealing exactly how she feels without even realizing it. Chapter 7. She finds ways to be near you. Attraction is rarely loud, but subtle, quiet, and persistent. A woman who likes you won't always say it outright. She may not confess her feelings or make grand romantic gestures. But what she will do, without even realizing it, is gravitate toward you. Again and again. Pay attention. Does she frequently find ways to stand near you? Does she sit next to you when there are plenty of other options? Does she linger in your presence when the conversation is over? These are not coincidences. This is attraction in action. A woman's subconscious mind pulls her toward what she desires. And if she's into you, she will instinctively move closer. It might start with something small, like choosing to sit beside you instead of across from you. Maybe she leans in slightly when she speaks, as if drawn by an invisible force. Over time, the pattern becomes undeniable. She is making an effort, no matter how subtle, to be in your orbit. The most telling sign is when she creates opportunities to be near you. She might accidentally bump into you in places where she knows you'll be. She may start frequenting your favorite coffee shop, gym, or social hangout. She might show up at the same events, pretending it's just a coincidence. But deep down, it's not. She's orchestrating moments to be around you because being near you excites her, even if she doesn't fully understand why. The Stoics believed that truth is found in patterns, not isolated events. If a woman chooses proximity to you once, it could be random. If she does it repeatedly, it's a sign. A person's actions, especially their unconscious ones, reveal far more than their words ever will. Beyond physical proximity, observe the way she reacts when she's around you. Does she lean in when you speak, closing the gap between you two? Does she find ways to touch you lightly, a playful nudge, a tap on the shoulder, a casual brush of the hand? These are all extensions of her desire to be physically close. Attraction isn't always direct, and many women, especially those who fear rejection, will express interest in ways that feel safe to them. Instead of outright saying, "I like you," they show it through their presence. They let their body do the talking, hoping you'll be perceptive enough to notice. But here's the key: if she's always near you, she's giving you permission to escalate. A woman who doesn't want you around will keep her distance. She will avoid being alone with you. She will position herself away from you in a group setting. But if she consistently chooses to be within your space, she's creating an opening. She's giving you an unspoken invitation to take the next step. The Stoics taught that clarity comes from observation, not assumption. If you observe that a woman repeatedly chooses to be near you, don't question it. Don't dismiss it as coincidence. Don't fall into the trap of self-doubt that so many men do, wondering, maybe she just likes being around people. No. If she is making an effort to be close to you, it's you she wants to be around. This is the difference between the man who understands attraction and the man who misses every signal. The man who understands attraction recognizes these patterns, trusts what he sees, and responds with confidence. The man who doesn't? He overanalyzes, second-guesses, and ultimately misses the opportunity staring him in the face. So the next time you notice a woman positioning herself near you, don't ignore it. Don't assume it's meaningless. Instead, recognize it for what it is, an invitation. A sign that she is drawn to you, whether she admits it or not. And when the moment feels right, act on it. Because attraction doesn't wait forever. Attraction isn't about guessing. It's about understanding human nature. When a woman likes you, her body, her actions, and her energy will reveal the truth long before she ever says a word. Remember, the Stoics mastered psychology long before modern science confirmed what they knew. The signs are always there, but most men miss them. You don't have to. Observe, recognize, and act accordingly. If you've ever noticed these signs in a woman before, drop a comment below and share your story. And if you want more breakdowns like this, hit like, subscribe, and keep leveling up your understanding of attraction.